people won't know, but like the parents on set, I mean, you guys are a main a main structure foundation of a children's show for sure. They're every day looking out for us, making sure things were going right.
Yep.
Guardians, you guys would alternate looking after us and stuff like that every now and again. If by the off chance, like my dad had to go somewhere, he'd be like, all right, Val's got you.
Well, I was always there.
Yeah, she was never leaving.
You know, you had an A story and a B story. He was usually in all of them.
Yeah. You had so much going on.
So I was just there every single day. And you always had like the first call time. So we were always there. And I had to be there anyway. So, of course, I didn't mind if your parents couldn't come. Your dad, your mom.
I just remember you like in the mornings just walking around the corner with like your cup of coffee and like just like I would just run into you at random places like wherever anybody was passing, going to Crafty or like hair and makeup or whatever, and just seeing you. Just some familiar faces in the morning.
Well, it was an early call time.
Yeah,
Right?
usually
Like
6 or 7. Yeah.
6 or 7. Yeah, so I'd get up at 5. Let him sleep to the last possible minute because he didn't need hair or makeup, you know. Get up, get showered, drink a cup of coffee, get my life together. And then it's like, all right, wake up, get in the car. We got to get to set.
Because Val was always in like, she arrived ready.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You weren't
I
going to
had
catch her
already
slipping.
woken up an hour early and gotten ready.
I was going to say, Ned's, you had one of the hardest jobs at Ned's, which was waking my ass up every morning.
Yeah, not easy.
Right.
Not easy.
Right.
It might be a close second to my dad, though, because we had to get up for at 4 o'clock.
Coming from
for
Long
you guys
Beach,
to drive up.
Long Beach, man, yeah.
That's
You have to
rough.
rush me out
He
of
would
that shower.
take a little nap in your dressing room
on
and
the
snore.
Oh, wait, you
God
can hear my
bless
dad?
him.
My dad
Oh,
making
my
noise.
God.
He had to have been tired
You could
waking up
probably
so
hear
early.
him on camera.
Bruh. And Dev's like 2 rooms over. You're still hearing the snoring? That's great.
yeah.
I got to tell my dad.
Well, also, we were at that makeshift warehouse for the 2 seasons, or that makeshift studio that was a warehouse. So those dressing rooms, they weren't rooms.
No, they didn't have
ceilings.
So how it's great. Well, when we first came in, it had that piece of canvas.
Yeah, that was over top.
And that was your ceiling. I mean, I could hear somebody bat their eyelashes next door, and I was there every minute. So I pitched a fit, and I was like, I can't listen to more snoring. I can't listen like to every single word. And Vanessa was there with me, and she'd like to have to do school and be in there. And I'm like, I can't do it. Yeah. So they actually put drywalled and put a
Valerie put that request in.
Just on his, because I'm like, I can't even hear myself thinking here. There's so much noise.
You were out there, so, you know, we've heard a lot of like horror stories from sets, obviously, but it takes so much to get the set like to run and work. There's so many moving parts. You were part of the people like standing for standards on the set. Yeah. You reminded me, you kind of forced them to put in fucking air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
They were just going to let us sweat out there, man.
Right, and it was 105 on some days out there. It was hot. And that studio was so hot, but it was the day you had on
Wolfie?
a wig.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I don't really remember. I don't remember the details. I think you had a wig and a mustache and like a suit coat. I don't know. And like the mustache fell off.
Oh, yeah.
He was like melting because it was so hot. And at the end of that day, I said, Scott, like, no, these kids cannot work in this temperature.
Yeah, like it doesn't even work for the work we need to do.
Right. Like they're in wigs and you have all your contraptions. And it's like, no. You know, when you're in cheerleading or whatever, like heavy stuff. I'm like, they're sweltering. They're going to pass out. And he's like, well, we only have the money we have. I can't do anything about it. So I called up Nickelodeon.
Yeah, we don't need to
And
find some money somewhere. Find that money.
I did. And I'm like, I'm not bringing him back tomorrow. Like, you have to cool down this studio. This is unsafe. Wow. And we got air conditioning.
Okay, I didn't know you had to go way up top.
So I forgot when we talked about this, like, so since doing the podcast, right, like we're all having these like memories from Ned's, and I was talking to my mom and she reminded me of that, and I forgot about standing in front of those yellow AC vent tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I had literally blacked that out. You would just stand in front of it because the studio, it's a warehouse. It's not insulated, and they're giant spaces filled with hot lights. They're huge, and we're deep in the valley where it is 105 some days. And I forgot, like, it couldn't cool down, so we just stand in front of that fucking vent, like, please.
Find the air.
Wait, you talking about that tube thing?
Yeah, the big tube. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't believe that.
So that's how we got air.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, because I was worried that it was unsafe for you guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like when stuff started melting off your faces, I'm like, this is not safe.
That's
this
tough
is not
because
healthy.
the kids aren't going to advocate for
right,
themselves. You need
right.
somebody.
You guys
to
are
step
having
up
fun and like whatever, you
Well,
know?
and we're
but
just
like
happy to be
that's
there.
what I was there for.
Okay, I have 2 instances to ask you about.
Okay.
So when Devon swallowed his flipper,
Yeah.
what was your how did that hit you?
Yeah,
Were you just
so
like, holy
for the-
shit?
for the-
And did you have to go through and make sure it came out?
Yeah, so for the listeners, we have talked
We
about
asked
this
this
once, but
before.
I wanna give you the context if you haven't heard that story. So, as a kid actor, you know, you need all your teeth.
when you're in middle school.
Yeah.
And I like had lost one of my last baby teeth while on Ned's, and it was one of the good ones, right? Kind of close to the front. And so I had to go get what's called a flipper, and kid actors know these. You have to go get a special kind of tooth retainer thing made that's specific to your tooth from a dentist. They make a mold, and it kind of like clips in wherever the tooth is. So I had this flipper, but my other
Wait, so it's like a retainer. So you took that whole thing down?
No, it's
it
got
was
like a wire.
little. It was
on
like a
it,
little wire.
it's
Oh,
like
so
a
it wasn't
bridge.
in. Oh, okay.
It's
like-
only on the one side. So
Got
it,
it.
But
like, hooks
sometimes,
around there.
but sometimes they are like full
Right.
retainers because someone's missing two.
Right.
Like
Got
it's
it. He was
But you
only
only
missing
swallowed
one.
the flipper. Not
well, the tooth is attached.
it's
Yeah.
It's
one
only
thing.
this big.
Oh,
It's
Got it,
one
got it,
thing.
got it.
It's like
a
a-
piece.
it's like a
it's
bridge,
a
a
mold
wire, and the
that
tooth
the
is
tooth can
attached.
sit on. So it's got a wrap on a wire, and there's a little gum mold. So it's like a little thing. But my other tooth was growing in, so it was starting. It was pushing on it, so it wasn't fitting
didn't
well.
clip in
And
tight.
then I think it's in a blooper of Ned's, like in the middle of me talking to camera, as Ned does, on like a tip, I swallowed it. Like it just fell out, and I swallowed it, and I go,
Bruh.
I'm sitting in
I
the
swallowed
director.
my flipper.
I saw it, and I was sitting in the director chair as I did when he was on in Video Village. So we're right outside in the hallway of the school is where Video Village was. And I saw him, and I'm like, hold on. I'm like, Devon just swallowed his tooth.
Dang.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, stop. And they wanted to keep going. And I was like, no, we're out of here. It was late in the day.
Yeah, it was the end of the
late in
day.
the day. And I'm like,
Devon
we're
just
done.
swallowed his tooth.
Because then we had to go. We couldn't even get another one made. And yes, of course, we had to talk to everybody. So they did say it would come out, but we never found it. So I'd be
Ooh.
curious.
Did you look for it?
It's in there. He's got a whole set of dentures grown in there now.
I think I made you look for it.
Right. I couldn't
I think
remember.
made you look-
Lindsay
I
asked,
think
and I
made
couldn't
him-
remember.
I didn't look for it. No.
Right.
I made him look for it, but it was. You think you would have seen it? So we don't know.
Yeah, it's still in there. What?
Who's to say?
We don't know.
It's a full set of
I thought
dentures.
it's probably still in there.
No fucking way.
Well, then it came out.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I
Dang.
did not check.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
But
That's
he didn't
gotta
get
be-
teeth till it was like 14 months, like none. So both of my kids and Vanessa
Really?
didn't get
Gums.
any till she was
Gums.
16 months. So their teeth were all late coming in.
Right.
How about little Luna? Does she have teeth right now?
Yes.
She
No, they're
does.
starting to come in, but like she only had.
She only has two in the center.
Yeah,
And the bottom.
And a molar.
No, that's what I'm saying.
on the bottom. She
so,
has
so
top
no,
lines.
she's late too, because Ziggy, Carly's baby, has like he's got teeth, and he's
Yeah.
way younger than Luna, and Luna has like these two bottom
So
ones.
Luna's like 17 months. She has two.
Oh.
Because they call them
Luna's
pegs.
so
She is
cute.
adorable.
Yeah,
isn't
she's the
she?
best.
She's a firecracker, man. She has got personality.
What
My
was your
second
second
question,
instance?
do you remember
I know
walking
the
me
one.
around the building on my, like, when I had bad period cramps?
No.
Okay. I will never forget it.
Well, I'm glad.
I was like debilitated. It was like my first debilitating cramps. It was so embarrassing. And they were like, okay, you can lay down for X amount of time. And it wasn't better after it was done. And you were like, come on, come here. We're going to walk around the building. I was like, and we did
Do I
it.
have
And I was
to?
like, okay. Okay. But
She was
yeah,
like-
I'll
she's
never
like, welcome
forget.
to
I'll
being
never
a
forget.
woman.
Yeah. Welcome to being a
You
woman.
just gotta
You said
walk
that.
it out.
You said that.
This is it.
Oh my God, you said that.
But you know, when you're there and you guys
Yeah.
have to film, I mean, the only time you didn't film in 3 years was when you got sick.
And like really sick,
He
right?
was sick all day,
I
had
think I had
a
a
fever.
bad fever.
But, you know, like nothing will happen if he's sick. So
Right.
it's like, well, suck it up. You can do it.
Yep.
You know, everybody knew he was sick. And it was just after lunch. And I remember they were in one of the classrooms and they were just about to call rolling. They'd blocked it and everything. And he turns and just hurls into a waste paper
Oh, I
basket.
remember this.
And I'm like, that's it. He stood up because he'd been sick and with the fever and still filming. And he was like, I'm fine, as you kids will. And I'm there watching. And then as soon as he threw up, I'm like, I'm done.
Nope,
We're done.
cut it. Yeah.
He's done.
I remember
and
that.
then he was done.
Damn.
I don't, I'm sure they either called an early day or whatever. But then they got a doctor and they had the doctor come to the set. And you had to get a shot of like something to stop your nausea. You couldn't even stop. I couldn't even drive him home. He was laying down on the couch in his dressing room, just throwing up. So they did send a doctor, and he gave you the shot that makes you stop. And then I got him home. And actually, I think you were fine. You were okay the next day.
Yeah. I remember that. That was like the one
But even
time
you
we
getting
stopped
your
filming.
period. I mean, like, it's like, well,
They were like, well, come
everybody's
out.
here, and
It was just a pain I had never like felt before, and I was like,
yeah.
"What? Am I okay?
Yeah, something's wrong.
And bleeding, like, whoa."
And that's the
Yeah, it
hard.
was rough,
hard.
but I remember. I'll
Oh,
never
well, I'm
forget.
glad I
I've
could
told
be
them a
there
couple
for
times.
you.
Yeah, I
Oh.
appreciate that.
well, I was Mama Ned.
yeah, you were.
Looking out for all you guys.
Yeah.